What's up, wrestling fans? It's the Emerald Enthusiast, the co-host of the Way Back Wrestling Mania podcast. Here with a look at the Mattel WWE Elite Series 104 figure of the Bloodline Enforcer himself, Solo Sikoa. Let's have a quick look at the packaging. It says first time in the line, Solo Sikoa. We get a studio shot on this side. On the opposite side, it says Solo Sikoa with the official hologram. There's a partial window on the top, product information on the bottom, and on the back we get a brief biography of Solo Sikoa. Here are two close-ups of the back of the packaging. If you'd like to read these, please pause the video and do so now. The Mattel packaging works well for this figure, as you can see the figure almost in its entirety, and you can tip it up to see the feet. The figure is front and center, and the accessories, which are 4 alternate hands, are off to the side. And with no further ado, now it's time to bust this figure out of the package and see what's inside. Let's have a look at accessories now. And in addition to the 4 hands, we also get the t-shirt and this towel. And I'm really glad that this was included since Solo wears this so often. The texturing on this is perfect. It really feels like the texture of a towel. And there's so much sculpting here. You can see all of the wrinkles. That looks really good. And here we have the left hands. We get a gripping hand and a pointing hand. And each one of these hands comes with a hinged peg. This one's a little tight, but that does give you posing options. Here are the right hands, and these have been painted to look like athletic tape. You may be wondering why there's no hand with an extended thumb for the Samoan spike, but remember Solo wasn't initially using that as his finisher. And here we get the We the Ones t-shirt, and the paint on this is magnificent. I really like the way the decals have been applied. However, this is the first time that I've purchased an Elite figure that has a t-shirt that doesn't have any kind of Velcro opening. So I slid this off over his head, and I was a little concerned about the amount of stress that I was putting on the decals. However, I am very thankful here for not only the accuracy of the shirt design, but for the cut of the shirt as well. And here we see Solo Sikoa out of the package and ready to rumble. I have been very eager to add a Solo figure to my collection, and I think there is a great deal to like about this figure, although I do have some criticisms, so let's take a closer look at the loose details now. Solo is clad in MMA style shorts with the red and black color scheme of the Bloodline. The knees have been painted to appear heavily taped, and the knee pads are separate pieces. The tattooing on the chest and arms is very intricate, and the skin tone is accurate, as well as the color of the hair. In terms of criticisms, the calf muscles are simply too small, and the same can be said for the upper torso. Solo is a very thick guy, and some of these parts don't reflect his muscle mass. There are lots of wrinkles sculpted into the shorts, and they say Street Champ, and I'm very appreciative of the way these look. Mattel did a good job with the head sculpt, although there is room for improvement. I appreciate the sculpting on the cheekbones and jawline, as well as the ears and the hair. My biggest criticism of the head sculpt is that the expression is not quite as menacing as it should be. Although I do have to give Mattel credit for excellent paint applications all the way around this head sculpt. In terms of articulation, the feet move backwards and forwards at the ankle joint, and there is a minor amount of pivoting. The legs also swivel back and forth at the top of the calf muscles. The figure has double jointed knees, and this will allow you to get him into a good running pose if you wish. The figure has a quadricep swivel, and that will allow you to rotate the legs and give you posing options. In terms of kicking, you can get the figure to kick forward that much, which I think is acceptable. Unfortunately, he does not step back, although the legs articulate out to the sides more than I thought they would. The figure pivots back and forth at the waist. You can get the figure to rock back this much. I certainly would have preferred a little more there. And the figure crunches forward this much. There's a bicep swivel on each arm, and that gives you posing options. The figure has double jointed elbows. There's rotation at both of the wrists, and as you can see, you can move them backward and forward. The arms do a 360 at the shoulder joint. You can raise the arms up from the sides this much and rotate them backward to see the full wingspan of this figure. Be careful when you're articulating the shoulder joint. You certainly don't want to damage the paint on the shoulders. The head moves easily from side to side on the neck joint. There's a moderate amount of up and down motion, as well as a moderate amount of head tilting. For a size comparison, here is the figure next to the Marvel Select Juggernaut, as well as the 4-inch scale Green Lantern Astro Beast Kilowog figure. And now some final thoughts on this figure. Mattel did an admirable job with this highly anticipated release. Kids will be happy with the playability of this figure. And for adult collectors who are eager to have a complete elite bloodline, they should be satisfied with this figure as well. I certainly hope you have enjoyed this review. If so, please like and subscribe. And make sure to tell all of your friends about this channel. I would certainly appreciate it. And I'll be back with more action figure related content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.